Some people go years and years of being single. I seen a guy make a video saying this because he said like he can't do it. And my answer to that is simply, it's not hard to stay single when you can't find nothing to like. Like, I think that's the part that a lot of y'all don't understand. It's like somebody taking you to a restaurant and you open up the menu and there's nothing on the menu that you eat. Like, it's a bunch of food on the menu, but there's nothing that you actually like to eat. And then when you do find something that you kind of do like, it's got ingredients in it that you don't mess with. And when you ask the server, can you substitute something for it? They like, no, you got to take it as is. And so for that, you don't want it at all. So it's like, well, nah, I'm cool. I don't even want to eat. Right? If I got to choose from this menu and it ain't nothing on here that I want to eat, you won't substitute and be able to change. Like, I can't change nothing of the stuff that I do like. I'm good. I either just got to wait till we go to another restaurant. If the other restaurant ain't got nothing I want to eat, I'm just going to have to starve. I'm just have to starve. But going back to the original point, it would be one thing if there was so many people that you found that you liked, and that would make it difficult to stay single. But when you're having difficulties finding people to like, no, it doesn't make it hard at all. When people ask me, how do I do it? I tell them, you're not me. Right? So that's the first thing. And I don't ever try to talk nobody into the lifestyle that I live. Me personally, I just don't be liking nobody. I don't be finding nothing that I like. So it doesn't make it hard to stay single when you don't find nothing that you like. I know exactly what it is that I want. And I know very quickly when the man is not it. So it doesn't take long for me to do the process of elimination or know that a man could never be a prospect. I've never met a man that I really wanted. I've never met a man that I want to be with for the rest of my life. Never met that man. Never seen that man before a day in my life. Don't know if that man even exists. But I know what I want. And because I know what I want, it doesn't take long to know when somebody is not that for me. Doesn't mean they're not a great person. Doesn't mean that they won't be a great candidate for somebody else. But I know when somebody ain't for me, which is why it makes it very easy for me to stay single, because I ain't never seen what I wanted.
Hello, everyone. This is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's get into the video.
I've been single for about 8-9 years. And it occurred to me today that this is the happiest I've ever been. This is most at peace I've ever been. And I have no hate against marriage. I was married for 20 odd years. If you're happily married, go on with your lucky self, keep going. But honestly, when they say that the happiest women are single women, they are so right. I am in my element, and I know there are many of you here who feel exactly the same way. So if you're single, don't waste your time thinking you need a guy. Just go and find yourself. Find yourself. Go look at who you are, learn who you are, spend time with yourself, understand yourself, go and look for the things that make you happy, seek your joy because it's out there and you can be extremely happy without a man.
Are older single men happy? And I asked that because I just saw a video of that group, or not group, but Tonight Conversation, and Keita Rose was saying something about, they asked her like what would you do if a man doesn't marry you? And she was being sarcastic, and she was like, I'm just gonna die because, you know, from what I've learned from you guys, that if I don't find a man to love me, then like, you know, I'm gonna be of no good, so I just want to pass away. But she was being sarcastic. Everybody on the panel, even the men, you know, were laughing. And I'm literally just giggling. Go down to the comments, and first comment just immediately. This older gentleman, he's like, what they don't tell you is that they're crying themselves to sleep at night because they're so miserable, and they try to mask it in sarcasm. And that goes back to my question. Are older single men happy? Because y'all try to frame it as if y'all are choosing to opt out of relationships and stay single during this male loneliness epidemic. But if y'all are happy in your singleness, why would you not think that women are also happy in their singleness? Especially considering the way that women build relationships and how women are with their friends and things of that nature. It's like, I know it's projection. This is essentially, I'm not gonna say it's not a real question, but it's like, if y'all are happy, why would you not assume that women are also happy? But I know y'all are not happy, because women are not on the internet watching men be single and be like, you single bitches are gonna die alone. Single men are so unhappy and miserable and blah, blah, blah. No one is saying that. Women are just like, okay. But the minute a man sees a woman being single, or a woman that's like, oh, I don't want to get married, that's a lie. Every woman wants to get married. A man just didn't pick you. A woman like living her, like, I've seen videos. There's this lady on this app, this black lady on the app, and I believe she's single. Actually, I'm not even sure she's single or not, but just because someone doesn't post their relationship does not mean that they are single. But she posts like videos of her taking care of her dog. She has like I don't know if it's a pit bull. I think it's a pit, like it's a big dog. But she posts videos of her taking care of him, like feeding him, like giving him baths, and then like, you know, just grooming, like taking really, really good care of him. And they were men in the comment section of a woman taking care of her dog complaining that she's not doing that for a man. Imagine a woman taking care of her pet, giving her pet a bath, feeding her pet, giving her pet a manicure, and men are in the comment section of that video complaining that she's not doing that for a man. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. So it's like, who y'all fooling? Who are y'all fooling? Like, stop. You can no longer, and the more we are on the internet, the more men are just like exposing themselves and their fucking behavior. And it's like, why would anyone want to be there? And then it's like some women get into these relationships and then they can't even leave. Men are literally annihilating their entire family. Now it's not even like, if you're trying to leave your relationship amicably, murder. He don't like you. He found a new girlfriend. He wants to go start a new family. Murder. Like,
as a person who has been single for a long time, I'd say that it's pretty easy to stay that way. Overall, if you do not have really stressful and annoying people in your life, it's pretty peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really have to worry about anyone else's emotions, and you really only have to care for yourself and spend money on yourself and actually really focus on yourself.
Say, P, don't let these niggas lie to y'all, bro. Get y'all a girlfriend, bro. And baby, don't let no girl lie to you. Get you a boyfriend, cause it's way more fun. When I had girlfriends, I had way more fun hanging with my girl, kicking with her, than I did with my partners, bro. Every time, bro. Even when we went out and we just chilling at the crib, I always had more fun with my girlfriend than I do with my partner. I like kicking with my partner, but I had more fun with my girl. Especially if she P like me and she cool and she don't be tripping and she on what I'm on. You gonna have way more fun with her, bro. Like, is it not cool to like somebody or go together no more? Like, what's up, bro? Like, you tell somebody you got a girlfriend, you like somebody, they be like, boy, you lame, boy. Like, I can't like somebody, P. Like, nah, bro. That's fun, bro. I promise you, that's fun. I always had way more fun with my girlfriend than my partner. And I ain't getting no trouble, P. I ain't had nothing going on. I wasn't caught up in nothing, man. You hear me? So, don't let these folks lie to y'all, bro. Don't let these folks trick y'all to being single, thinking that's the best way. Ain't no wrong being single. You can still have your fun, too. But if you got somebody on the same frequency as you gonna have more fun with them folks than you is with your partners, man. Okay.
What is the actual benefit in 2025 of being in a relationship? I had a man reach out to me earlier today in a very respectful way. And he said, hey, I'm really curious, like, what is the actual benefit at this point of being in a romantic relationship? Because I can get everything that I need outside of a romantic relationship. And he said he and his friends just don't see how there's any kind of actual value in a long-term relationship or marriage. And to me, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Like, of course, you can find like intimacy outside of a relationship as far as like the physical component of it. You can even find like situationships where you're basically in a relationship, but you can go do your own thing, whatever. But like, what about actual loyalty? Like, what about having someone to do life with? Why would you want, to me, why would you want a bunch of surface level relationships that are never going to actually be deep? If you get sick in the future, don't you want someone who's there to like help take care of you? When you're lonely, when you're sad, when the shit happens in life that is so hard to handle. When you are having your moment of like laying on the bathroom floor, crying out to God because life sucks and it's hard, don't you want someone there? I don't know, like surface level relationships just don't do it for me. And I understand that there are a lot of husbands who leave their wives when they're sick, and I'm sure there's probably vice versa. But like, there's just nothing like having that person who, no matter what your life is there with you. You're doing it together. But I think the issue is that people see like relationships and marriage as so much of a transaction. Like, are you actually giving me what I'm giving you? And it's just so sad. If you both were to work at like outgiving the other, the relationship would be amazing. I don't know. Drop your thoughts about this in the comments. It makes me sad, but I would love to hear your thoughts.
What I love the most about my relationship with my partner is the fact that it's such a safe space for me to just be human. Even the things that aren't the most desirable about what it is to be a physical being on this earth, I'm able to be that. It's such a blessing.
We just sat next to a couple at brunch who were very clearly on a first date.
You could tell they were trying to fill every silence with words.
When they got their food, they were talking in between bites, and it just made me feel so grateful that we have been together so long that the second the food comes, we are silent because we are
eating. When you're in a steady relationship, you don't have to fill the silence with words.
You would just make eye contact every like couple minutes and be like, and that's really what it's all about.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
A quick reminder, if you are in a situationship, you are single. You and that other person you're in the situationship with are both single. You are two single people in a entanglement. You're not in a relationship. You do not have to be loyal to one another. You are two single people. Until both of you decide to be in an exclusive relationship or exclusively date each other, you're just two single people that, like to color from time to time. That's all. Sometimes we get in our heads like, oh, we're doing all these relationship things that like, well, now I don't want to date other people. I don't want to talk to anybody else. Or now I'm like spending all my energy and time on this person. But it is a situationship. It's not a relationship. You guys do not go together. It may feel like that. It may seem like that. But y'all are two single people. This is why situationships are bad to get into, because there's so much gray area. There's no black and white, and that's how people get caught up. And that's why when it's over, your heart is broken as if you were in a relationship, because it's just too much. 0 out of 10, I recommend you don't ever get into a situationship. And if you've been in one before, then you know what I'm talking about.
It's been cold for one goddamn day, and it seems like every fucker on the planet has found their way into a relationship except for me. Last week, when it was 72 degrees, you were single. This week, when it hit 65 and you could bring a sweater out of your closet, it seems like everybody and their mama is just holding hands with the love of their life, and I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it, dude. I want to not. I shouldn't say that. I need to stop saying that. My therapist said I need to stop saying that. I need to describe my emotions more accurately and with truth. I want to insert forks into my eyes. That way I can't see the love of strangers. That's not an exaggeration. I have the forks, I have the eyes, and I have the time. So please, for the love of God, stop holding hands and looking cute together, you assholes.
I don't understand why people wait until they are single again to actually start becoming the best version of themselves. You can do that while you are in a relationship. Both of you guys can actually do that. She works on herself, you work on yourself. She grows, you grow. And I think that a lot of the issues come when just one person in the relationship is actually trying to improve their life and continuously grow, and the other person is just like stagnant. They don't actually want to put in the work which is required for growth, and so those two people grow apart, and it happens literally all the time. And so I think that if you truly want to be in a really good relationship, I think that both people have to have that growth mindset, that hey, you work on what you have to work on, I will work on what I need to work on, and we will become better people for each other.
If you're in a relationship, don't be telling nobody your business unless you plan on leaving and never going back. Don't be telling nobody your business unless it's a life or death situation and you're looking for a way out. These are people that you can trust that are actually going to help you. Don't be telling nobody your business just because you pissed off for a little bit, but you know you're going to stay. Don't be telling nobody your business if you know that y'all are gonna break up and then get back together, repeatedly putting us all through it. We don't want to go through it with you. And don't be lying to your therapist about it either. Because how are you in therapy telling your therapist that this person is trifling and then lying to your therapist when your therapist asks you, did you leave them like they told you to do in the last session? And you say, yeah, but you going to Wendy's after this to get them a baby bag. Don't do that. Your relationship is your business. And when you start telling people your business, it becomes our business. And if we care about you, we're going to say, baby, why are you still there? Because telling us that somebody hurt you and that they're a horrible person and then staying with them is stupid. Or at least it makes us feel stupid for listening. Because what was the point of those 3-hour sessions? What was the point of those 3-hour sessions? Multiple times a week. Do you know how draining that is? Just for you to stay. Just for you to go back. You could have kept that to yourself. And if the only way for you to get out of the relationship is to tell people so you could actually hold yourself accountable. Because once upon a time, I had to do that. I was like, bitch, if I don't start telling people, I might stay. So I put it in the email to somebody and the rest was history. We're not together. And I didn't go back either. And neither should you. But if you do, keep it to yourself. Because you're not about to be out here having me hate somebody that you are madly in love with, that you are never going to leave. Waste of my time. Waste of my feelings. Waste of my energy. And don't be volunteering us lies about you not wanting them either when you really do want them. Also a waste of time. Baby, I don't care. Just don't drag me into it if stuff goes left. Because a lot of times they'll give you this like prequel about how this person is horrible. And you're like, oh my God, yeah, you totally shouldn't date them. Boom, next minute they're having a baby. Boom, next minute they're in jail. Boom, next minute you found out you were an unsuspected target. You know what I think? I think absolutely not. I think absolutely not. Unless you're actually gonna leave, keep it to yourself. And if you do leave, you still ain't gotta tell nobody. Leave some mystery. Let people think what they need to think. Most of us aren't thinking about it all, actually. Honestly, truly. It really only pops up because you say it. It's not that we don't love you, it's not that we don't care. It's that life is hard. Better things to do. If you're in a relationship, keep your business to yourself unless you plan on leaving or you need help getting out. Because you should never stay in a situation that is what? Unsafe or unhealthy.
Y'all know what I'm coming to realize? I really, really love being single, and I simultaneously don't love it at all. I love my space. I love being able to take my time to do things how I want, when I want. I love not having to consider someone else's feelings over my own. I love not being micromanaged. I love wearing what I want to wear, going where I want to go, doing what the hell I want to do when I want to do it. I even really like sleeping by myself, like genuinely. But then earlier when I was driving home, there was a particular thing I wanted to vent about, and I was like, dang, I want to talk to somebody, but yeah, there's that. I'm laying in bed. I would like somebody to rub on my booty. And granted, I could call somebody. That's not hard at all. But I don't want to call just anybody. I want it to be like somebody, you know? But overall, I'm chilling. Anybody else feel this way?
I think that there are a lot of downsides to being single as well. And one of the obvious reasons is that you don't have anybody to share your life with. And at a certain point, you start to feel very lonely. And when you are lonely, you may attract the wrong type of people in your life, and it can become a serious issue.
I've spoken about before the negatives about being in a relationship young, but there are some huge positives that cannot be ignored. I got into a relationship when I was 17, I'm 20 now, and so this is my take on all the good things about being in a relationship young. First thing is that you actually get to be with your partner for a lifetime practically. God willing, we all have like 100 years on this planet, and you met them when you were like 16, 17, 18, even 20. You get like 80 years with your partner, which to me is like the best thing ever. I love the idea of knowing that I can spend as much time as possible with my loved ones before any of us die. It's just so great knowing that you get to spend as much time as you possibly can with the people that you love in your life. And then to piggyback off of that, you get to grow with them. I know a lot of people have like this idea that you need to come as someone that's so refined and the perfect version of yourself into a relationship. But honestly, I don't feel like God created marriages and relationships for this reason. I feel like God's design of relationships was for us to be able to grow each other and us to be able to use our skills to impact each other in positive ways, which is also why it's important to be equally yoked, because God's whole motive behind relationships in general is so that we're able to come together and benefit the kingdom of God, and then in turn us, especially when you have a good man or a good woman, like the growth that you guys can make is exponential. I'm not saying though that if you don't have a boyfriend you're going to be a shit person, you're never going to grow. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you have a good man and you're in a relationship, a benefit is that you guys can help each other grow in these younger ages and mature quicker than a lot of people your age would. The biggest pro for me though is being saved from the dating pool as quick as possible. This is very, very pessimistic of me, but I genuinely don't feel like there are a lot of good men out there, which is so pessimistic, I know, but I just don't feel that way. A lot of men are corrupted, a lot of men are polluted with very interesting ways of thinking, and being able to fast track through all the silly men, all the bad men, all the men that want to push your boundaries, all the men that don't want to listen when you say you want to abstain, all of these things, being able to skip that process, I couldn't be more blessed for that. I stopped entertaining any sort of guy, any sort of anything for 2 years straight of my life. When I first gave my life to Christ, when I first slightly dipped my toe into seeing, are there any nice people out there? Everybody was stupid and nobody actually aligned with what I wanted. So I just said, you know what? I'm going back into my cage. Let me know when to come out, God, when you're ready. Even now, when I see other people's stories like online, or when I see guys just online, you guys are not okay. Get twisted, there are great guys out there that understand the premise of setting up your relationship to enter a marriage, but it just looks like there are so few compared to the ones that are just horrible and don't know what they're doing, and they're just led by lust and sad things. And before anyone tries to say I'm sexist, we know that it goes both ways. There are also a lot of women that are led by a lot of demonic spirits, which is very, very sad. Like, I honestly hope everyone heals as soon as possible and like people can come to Jesus as soon as possible, because we would all be a lot happier if everyone was healed.
I think that one of the perks of being in a relationship is that you actually have your person. You have a friend to speak to who you can rely on. You just have a person to go through life with. And I think that if you really have the right person, I think it's a really beautiful thing. And I am always a fan of love, but I think that there has to be a lot of give and take and wisdom as well. One of the things that people lose in a relationship is themselves. They are really not the same person anymore. They have actually changed, and at times it can be a good thing, you know, but always keep a sense of yourself when you're with another person.
Being in a good relationship is good and has its benefits. Emphasis on good relationship. So if you desire to be in a relationship, that's fine. Nobody should take that away from you. It's your desires, not theirs. They're probably enjoying theirs, so you know, why not you look for yours and enjoy yours. However, if you are in a place where you feel that you are not allowing yourself to do certain things like activities, going to places, etc., because you're waiting on this ideal person to join you, you could be robbing yourself of an opportunity to actually just enjoy things for yourself and then later invite them in your experiences that you enjoyed when you were single. If you also feel that you get to really deep dark places where you're feeling really anxious, depressed, or low moods, don't want to socialize with people because of the idea of being single becoming exhausting, that's all something that probably needs to be explored, because there's something deeper going on there. And it's best to explore that, because when you get into a relationship, what happens is you could become codependent on that partner and relying on them to make you really happy. And unfortunately, there is a chance that they could disappoint you. Not that they will do anything harmful to you, but it's just that the expectations that you have, they might not meet in certain areas, and the littlest of things can disappoint you. So essentially, it's about thinking about how you can hold yourself so that when you do meet that person, you can actually share things together and have a better experience of each other, and not allow yourself to get to a place where you become codependent on a partner, which sometimes actually invites really, really negative things.
I think that in order to have a successful, happy relationship, you have to have one feminine energy, one masculine energy. You can't have both. You have to pick a fucking role and stick to it. So as a man, if you want to be the masculine one and have more of the control and the decision making and be the dominant one, you got to fit the role 100%, all in. You can't do both. If you don't want to be that, just say it. Just say you want to be the feminine one. And then you can be with a girl who is more of a feminist and who wants to be the breadwinner and wants to be the decision maker and wants to wear the pants, and she can be the masculine one. You can sit back and tap into your feminine energy, because there can't be both. You got to pick and choose. And so as the female too, that applies to us. Like, I'm willing to fully take a back seat and step into my feminine energy, but only if that man is in his true masculine and he is a true alpha dominant male. Otherwise, it's never gonna work. You have to pick a role and stick to it. So I promise I have no education, but this is my theory.
Y'all out here acting like marriage is a liability. Meanwhile, rent just went up again. The economy doesn't care about your fear of commitment. You know what helps? 2 incomes, 1 rent. And you know what also helps? 1 income and somebody taking care of the home. And if you don't realize, marriage is the original wealth plan, because you can build together or you can struggle alone. A lot of people talk about being bosses, but bosses also know when to partner up. A house with 2 people building is always stronger than 1 person trying to go at everything alone. Loneliness is costly too. It just may not cost you dollars. The problem is not marriage, it's who you marry. Build with someone you can trust. Build with someone who has vision, the same vision as you, and marry somebody who wants legacy, not just luxury.
I actually remember the last time I was in a pretty serious relationship, and it was actually a really good feeling of just like having a person in your corner and always having a person to speak to each and every day, and at times for hours on the phone, and just spend really quality time with that person and just laugh and, you know, have a really good time. If you really have a good person, I mean, it's a really good feeling. So
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.